I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
On today's episode of Women Reactions, back to Dr. Stone, episode 18, Stone Wars. Now, before we get into today's episode, I want to make some corrections. Through your guys' helps, through the comments, I'm able to, go back, rewatch, and, these things I missed. My only excuse was I was just crying too much, and, I got teary-eyed, and I couldn't see the actual lines. But excuses aside, let's make some corrections. First and foremost, I thought Connie and Schimmel didn't have any kids, but if we're going by what he said on his deathbed, after he said he had a fun life, he never expected to be a husband or a father. So if we're going by that, I assume he did have some kids. We just didn't see them because at this point we only saw 2 kids, the 2 blonde ones that Daria and Yakov left behind, because at this point, remember, they tried to go save Connie. They never came back. So like I said, if we go by his, death message, it was, he had kids. They just weren't, we didn't see them. Second was the actual location of the island versus Ishigami Village as we know it. And once again, I was so distraught. Literally, Byakuya is holding Lillian's dead body. All the kids are crying. I was so focused on that, I stopped paying attention, and this is where we get literally the first of the 100 tales will be ones that encompasses how to get back to Japan where Senku is located at. So this deserted island is not the home of Ishigami Village, but just a deserted island. So eventually these kids will eventually turn adults, have kids of their own, and eventually make their way back to Japan. And I assume they take Byakuya's headstone maybe as a religious icon or something from, their past to just take along with them. I don't know. Maybe because he created the 100 Tales. So now that those 2 big boogaboos, the issues I had regarding last episode, let's get into today's. Now, last we left off, like I said, Senku just heard the entirety of the final tale, the one left specifically for him by his father Byakuya, one of the 6 survivors that was up in a space station during P-Day. And this is where we get a very emotional moment from Senku. Up until this point, he's been very stoic, and now we see him shed a tear for his dead father. Now, as we return back to Ishigami Village, Gen is there, and Gen has a message. Shishio is mobilizing an army because Gen didn't see the body of Senku, therefore Senku could still be alive, and Shishio does not want to take this lightly. So Gen is there to warn him, but it seems the Shishio side has already sent out a troop of these giant barbarian lookalikes, and we see one that looks like a fucking ninja. Well, this is the guy we need to be worried about. His name is Hyoga, and even Gen warns about it, like, hey, don't mess with him. He's on like Shishio's level. I mean, if those 2 are there, I mean, all we can do is run. Now, it seems Kinro is the last bastion, the guard of this village. He sends Kinro back, tell everyone what's going on. So he's defending the only way into this village, which is the bridge. And he is easily able to dispatch, the giant goons with the reach of his spear and the narrowness of the bridge. But it looks like Hyoga is smart. He sees this, he notices this. He goes, you would never win against, a spear in a bridge. You need another spear. What does he have? A fucking spear. But this one seems to have, a unique attribute to it. And in the end, Kinro is just no match, and it seems to take a blow right in the stomach, and he is falling off the bridge, and he grabs onto Hyoga's foot. And you know what? Ginro, cut it. I told you to cut it. I don't care if I go down, at least I'll take this fucker with me. And again, we see Ginro be Ginro, and he's just bawling. Absolutely does not want to cut this bridge at all. And I'm so glad we have someone like Ginro. I mean, yeah, he's lazy at sometimes, and he's, very self-centered, but I think when it truly comes down to his friends, he's willing to do anything, as we saw with him trying to save Chrome, over the Saphiric Lake, and seeing him cry just, that hit me right in the guts. Luckily, Senku is there, and he is a master of all things science, and it seems he has made preparations for this inevitable outcome, and although it is just a fake, Gin utilizing magma to throw a giant rock, and Senku loading up basically a pipe with gunpowder, is able to mimic that of a rifle. So now the giant goons are scared. Even Hyoga is guessing, what's going on? Oh shit, they have guns at this point. Of course, Senku is just bolstering. They have 10 billion guns. Hell, they technically don't even have one. But at least this is buying them enough time. And I'm so glad the way he chooses to take this path, because out of every single weapon, probably in the entirety of the world, I don't think anything is more iconic than a Japanese katana. So while Senku is getting everything ready, filling in old man Kazuki about what his plans are, and he's just getting super excited, so much so that he literally busts out of his clothes butt naked, sending Detective Suika away to do a special investigation, find Gin Gin give him a certain item that comes very important later on. They're readying themselves for the inevitable attack. I mean, Gin implants the fact that they can't use matchlock rifles when there's a storm, so now the barbarians are dumb enough to fall for it. Hyoga doesn't think so, but I mean, he's basically playing along with these Neanderthals. If they lose, they lose. It's no big deal. At least he'll survive and he'll know to what extent the Kingdom of Science has progressed too. So either way, he's gonna win. Now, unfortunately, they were only given 3 days till the next storm, but it seems Senku definitely has made his preparations, luring the barbarians onto the bridge as he fakes not being able to light his rifle. Who jumps in out of nowhere? Yes, the main cast of the village, Kohaku, Kinro, Magma, Kohaku's father, and they're all wielding those Japanese katana, and they just look fucking badass. They're easily able to dispatch the stone weapons. Now the barbarians are basically just shitting their pants at this point. They don't know what the hell's going on. Holy shit, even they know at their, below average IQ not being able to smell that this is a ruse. Oh shit, they've progressed to the point where they have, fucking swords. We are, pretty much shit out of luck at this point. But this is when Hyoga takes the main stage. And even though our heroes have, advanced weapons, stone versus, katana, Hyoga has his spear. Now, like I said, this spear is special. It is a Japanese spear known as a kuriyare, which basically goes through a piece of bamboo, allowing the spear to twist. And Hyoga uses this as basically creating a circle motion where no one, even Kohaku with her special, keen instincts and reflexes, is able to tell where the tip of the spear is. Even when she goes in for her assault, thinking that he wouldn't be able to guard against, a attack from above, it honestly looked like she is about to be impaled until, miraculously, the spear breaks. Yes, but this wasn't by chance. No, this was all planned out. Suika found Gin, gave him a little miniature blade that Senku cooked up, and upon seeing this, he absolutely knew what to do. We saw a scene earlier where Gin is getting yelled at by Hyoga for grabbing his spear, and in that split second, he was able to create almost an invisible cut in the tip, which we all know, due to the force that Hyoga was creating through the twist and all that, what was it, inertia or something, basically all that giant pressure was created on the very tip of it. That invisible cut was a thing to take down this freaking monster. But in this instance, Hyoga doesn't seem, surprised or frightened. He almost instinctively knows that it was Gen who did it. Looks at him, blames him, and remembers that one instance where, he touched his spear for a split second. So Gen drops the charade at all. Screw it. Of course it was me. And we see him switch sides, to the Kingdom of Science, where, let's face it, it's the only place where he's going to get a cola. So, eventually he was going to end up there anyways. And the episode ends with basically a standoff. Hyoga and the barbarians versus Senku and the katana wielding Ishigami village and, Gen. And I so wanted more. Like I said, today's episode was freaking amazing. Once again, we see the power of science and just the pure intellect. Not only does Senku know how to create the wonder drug known as an antibiotic, but he also has keen knowledge on creating katanas and swordsmithing and shit. Seriously, who the hell is this dude? Not only do we get to see all that badassery, Gen stepped up. He fucking manned up with the help of Suika, is able to, basically stop this rampaging dude that seemed unstoppable. I mean, Hyoga with his kuriyare basically was just dispatching, the elite of Ishigami village. I mean, Magma's considered the strongest. Kohaku's obviously the most, flexible and has the best instincts and reflexes. And definitely Kinro is no slouch. So he's basically going 3-on-1 and is able to, take them all on equally. So fuck. So without Gen, we'd still be on the bridge, taking pot shots from this long spear. But on the other hand, seeing all this, it's a scary thought. Just think that Gen is telling them Hyoga is on the level of Shishio. I mean, he's up there with Shishio's skill. So if those two came at him both at the same time, not to mention an army of barbarians or other, unpetrified people, we're talking about serious damage to Ishigami village. So a couple katanas I don't think they're just gonna fucking cut it at this point. We need to, progress to the point where, I hate to say it, but maybe we need guns. Maybe we need some other kind of, they're basically out of gunpowder at this point. He said he's using the last of it up. I just don't know. We don't have the force because Shishio is unleashing, unpetrifying only the young and who's considered, strong and put into his side. So shit, honestly, I don't know where we're going with this. What is Senku going to do next to fortify Ishigami village? If this is where he plans on, being steadfast and making the true Kingdom of Science, if this is going to be his last bastion and his last hope of, resurrecting humanity, we're gonna have to fortify it somehow. Man, you're making me think too much today. We got so badass. Like I said, I absolutely love today's episode. It's just an amazing series. With that being said, I cannot wait for future episodes.